I didn't know how it feels to be an expat.
For example,
Caffè con leche para llevar, like the most important phrases.
Tell us about like first period, first kind of feeling.
I had my closed moments and I was like, where are the people? Why I wanted to move, like what am I going to do in my next step?
Hello guys, Alina here directly from Barcelona, and I want to start a series of video about expats in Barcelona. So today I have the guests. I have Dr. Waad Masoud here with me. Hello. And her Canelita. So I want to tell you a little bit more about our special guest today. So Dr. Waad Masoud, she is educational and developmental psychologist, and she is owner and founder of I Can Relate. I'm really glad that this amazing person here today with us, and I have this possibility to make some questions and get some answers about her journey here during what period of time?
Wow, it's been in November 11 years.
Ooh, 11 years in Barcelona. And let's start from the beginning. So you moved to Barcelona from?
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. Okay.
First of all, I want to say thank you so much for this amazing introduction. And yes, I am. I'm originally from Saudi Arabia. My family are coming from there, and I was born and raised in London, and so I spent most of my childhood over there in London and around the country, and then my family moved back to Saudi Arabia, and so in 2013 I made my move in Barcelona in November exactly.
Wow!
Yes.
But alone?
Actually, considerably, I made the move on my own, but I did have a sister who was living here before me. She had moved 4 years before me.
Ah, okay,
yes.
Okay. And what was the first steps, like preparation to move? Like you are in Saudi. Let's make it like little bit, backward. What? 11 years ago, she's in Saudi packing the suitcase.
Wow.
What was the feeling, What was the, first of all, preparations, some steps maybe, and the feeling?
It's incredible. Actually, just before we started, I was thinking, wow, it's such a visit for this journey. I'm going to visit my 11-year journey from how it started. So it's incredible to go back there with you. And so my journey started, I would say, when before even deciding to move, I was coming to visit my sister for holidays. And my decision to move to Spain was considered as one of the options.
Okay.
So one idea was to go back to the UK, where I grew up and I was born, and where my family are more connected to, or to come to Barcelona in Spain, where my sister had already started a new path. And so when I used to visit as holidays, I used to really like a lot this new culture and the new place. I had never been to Spain before until when my sister had moved. So never for holidays, don't know anything about Spain, nothing. So I came to visit her, and I really fell in love with the language.
Ah, really?
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking, sorry to ask you, like, what was the main, catch, let's say?
The main catch was the language.
Okay.
It was just so heart-moving for me. And, they say the Italian language is musical, but the Spanish language also
really
has its own charm
musicality.
And musicality. Exactly. And I think that was it. And alongside with the beautiful cities, the cities have been incredible. Seeing them, Madrid and Barcelona. I remember I came to spend 15 days in Barcelona, just touring around, and I couldn't see. I could have only seen quarter of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So and until today, I'm still exploring more and more in Barcelona.
You're still in this wow, it's still beautiful, no?
That is still beautiful, I have to say. Sometimes when I look at some videos and I see Barcelona on a video, I'm like, wow, I live in this beautiful city. I love it. It's so charming. Barcelona is very charming. And so my initial move started from there, and I had had a kindergarten school back in Saudi before coming, and I was really, kind of thinking about making a move, but I had the business, so I thought, oh, I can't leave because I have the business. But I always had that dream to want to make the change and see more of the world.
Okay, so you had kindergarten, so you had the business in Saudi. So, as a business girl, you know, I moved here too. I had the business before and I was thinking to open business here. So, did you feel like, I don't know, like this fear, let's say, no? Like, oh, I will maybe close my business or I will lose my business, no? And maybe how it will work or not work in new country. What was your plan related like to job, business, you know?
Yes, this is one of the moments that I was experiencing. I had found it really complicated to make a decision whether am I gonna go, when am I gonna go, is it gonna be possible, but what about the business? And I really want to say that when you have a local business, or I want to say actually when you have a business that has a location, it's really hard to leave it.
Exactly, yeah.
And this was the biggest challenge that I faced, and I was all into the business, and I was there by myself every day, and it was really hard to leave that school. There's a very big responsibility with the children and so on. So I'm a business owner.
How many children you had there?
So I had 80, between 80 to 200. They would variate. It was a small kindergarten, really focused on a very particular niche. It was really innovative and different. I have to say that, as you know me, I'm very quite futuristic about methodologies and different ways of doing things. So I was very different, and it wasn't really ready for the market. But I was 23 years old as well. I was very young, and I grew up. Talking about that, about career, as you asked me, I had grew up so fast in my career, and I started the business because I had already arrived to the upper scale of the ladder.
Exactly.
Meaning I have been a teacher, class teacher, teacher director, department manager, and then I managed, directed, and then I moved to assistant professor. And actually in Saudi I was working in the university where I graduated in, and they had closed the department. And when they closed the department, because they were not ready for the psychology part, I decided, okay, I only have the business, now it's the time.
Exactly.
So it was a hard decision, but I have to say that life had made the journey for me to move.
Exactly.
I had to close the business for some family reasons. My father had passed away, but before he passed away, I was there to take care of him, and I had issues, and so the business had to close down in that moment, and that's it. It happened.
And exactly. And was it like the moment when you thought like, okay, now I actually can move?
Exactly. Yeah? Totally.
Okay.
It's really difficult to leave your business and just move to another country.
Okay. Okay. So decision is made. You decide to come, and what you start to look for, like which documents, which visa you need, how much money maybe you need for that. What you begin to search and what you find actually.
Yes, so I first decided why I wanted to move, like what am I going to do in my next step, and I came for studies to improve and change my education, improve my education. So I first looked for a master course, and I started to look for universities and see whether this is going to be the location where I would be moving. And so I searched between different cities, different universities to find the profession that I want. And then after that, I actually had my sister here. So I must say that I did not look for a location company. Why? Because I was thinking, my sister has already been here. She will advise me. You know, she's done the move. Let me just follow her steps.
Exactly. She knows the steps. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I just asked her a couple of questions, and then of course I needed to check with the visa documents as a Saudi citizen and passport holder. Every country is different, so I had to see what works for my passport. It's very common in Saudi to actually search for agencies instead of doing everything yourself. But to start with, I did search for an agency to help me with organizing my student visa.
Okay, so you start with student visa.
Yes, I definitely started my student visa because that was the reason why I came. I did not search for an agency in Spain, but I did use the help of some advisory about papers. And as I mentioned, each country and passport has different conditions,
Of course,
right?
of course.
So first I checked what's online, what does my passport offers me as well, and what papers do I need. And I have to say that it was not so easy.
How long it takes, by the way, to make the papers? Did you start to make it before, or you were applying here?
It took actually 6 months or even a little more between collecting my papers, doing all the logistics and the bureaucracy process of the papers, all these fingerprints, and the process was really long. And also where I come from and where I was living in Saudi Arabia, the Spanish embassy was based in another city, so I had to go there. And yeah, I needed to travel and go there and that's, yeah.
And where you study? In which university here?
So I did 2 masters. I studied in the Autónoma de Barcelona. I did international business, and then I studied in Universidad de Pompeu Fabra, and I studied general management focused on human consumer behavior.
Great.
Yes.
And how you find the education? It was in English. Did you have some challenge in Spanish English?
Okay, so my priority was to study in English. I excel the most in learning in my first language, and that was my priority. I didn't want to study it in Spanish. It was going to be very hard, and I wanted to master the topic.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yes.
But how was the journey to language then? Did you study Spanish separately, or did you not study?
Right. So I actually only studied the Spanish language devotedly, right? Like going
Separately.
to school separately after I finished my second master's.
Oh, okay.
I had already started learning Spanish from when I started. As I told you, I fell in love with the language, so I used to get in contact with it, trying to learn a little bit. Yeah, I remember that I used to master some phrases like
For
café
example.
con leche para llevar, like the most important phrases that I need.
Exactly. Coffee with milk to take away, please.
See? And when the bartender would like continue speaking, I'm like, oh no.
Oh no,
that's
that's it. That's it.
And until today, when I go and visit, he's like, wow, your Spanish improved so much. Man, like after 11 years, of course.
Exactly.
And he used to say, wow, you master a sentence, and then I would think that you would be already speaking. You trick people. Yeah.
So you study here and you moved, and tell us about like first period, first kind of feelings and experience. Did you felt like the quality of life here is different that in Saudi Arabia, that I don't know, people are different, the culture is different, everything is different, or something is similar, or everything is kind of different but good, or different or bad? You know, give us like this, let's say, first year feelings.
Right. So I must say that I came with a very open mind.
Okay.
A lot of people ask me, was it a culture shock? Of course, when you tell people you're from Saudi Arabia, they would think, wow, this must have been like the complete culture shock for you. But it wasn't for me because I have a cross culture already in me, growing up and born in London. So I have that cross culture also in our family. We're a little bit more diverse in that sense. So I wasn't so like as a culture shock, but there has definitely been some differences. So one is my background, the other one is that I really came with an open mind. I came with an open mind to explore, to look, to see, and there were differences definitely in the way people do things. Also my perception to security was different. So, you know, I've lived in Saudi for quite some years, and it's already not so safe for a woman to be quite independent and moving alone. So it was really hard for me at the beginning to walk at night.
Really?
Like past 12 midnight. I was really with the thought that it's not safe, it's not safe. Of course, and when I came, everybody is saying all the time, they drill in your head when the security is really high in your country and you already know how to navigate. You know, as an expat, you think, be careful. You know, expats
you
are
have
always...
kind of high awareness.
Yes, but they also, expats are always in the hyper-vigilant state of, I don't know the place, we have to stay safe, you're moving. There is this like concept that when you're an expat or a tourist, you're vulnerable.
Yeah, exactly.
This is also mostly for people who didn't really live abroad so many years.
Exactly.
Right? And move around and seen so many different countries. So you have that, which this concept has completely completely erased from my mind. Yes. I still have it for some countries. Like when I think of going to Latin America, I think like that because there's always, it's exactly like this, right? If someone says, I'm going on a trip on Latin America, they'll tell you it's this and that and that. So it's the same thing. And I was told so many things, your bag, your pockets, your money, be careful. People would follow you at night, and so on. But in fact, Barcelona has been very safe for women.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can't say that I only explored it alone, but I was seeing my friends going around and they're like, Carl, don't worry, you're really safe. People will not follow you and watch you. And, you know, every culture also comes with their own background and understanding of what is safety, what is okay, what is nice, what is polite.
How much is safe, no? How much is not? Yeah, so it's all about measures.
Also, your personal space. And how much diversity you've lived around people or not, right? If you've been living in a community in a country that is not so diverse in culture, it's hard for you to be in that space where there are people from all around the world and you feel like a little bit overwhelmed.
Exactly. So with the language it was good, with the safety it was good too. What was the food?
Well, with the language, I must say it wasn't really good. I learned. I needed to put a lot of effort. I grew up learning English and Arabic, so I didn't really learn ever a language from scratch. But so it was challenging, I have to say. I don't want to say it was bad, but I also put so much effort.
It was hard, let's say.
Yeah, I put a lot of effort because if you don't, you will not arrive to what you would like to achieve.
Achieve an experience. How long it take to feel that, well, I'm good. They understand me, I understand them. Now I'm not so good.
Girl.
Don't tell me that you still feel like that, because I am really. I will not sugarcoat it.
That you still feel it.
I still
good.
Feel it.
I mean, first of all, I have to say that I don't want to say, oh, I'm a perfectionist. No, but I like to master language. I like to master the expression of expressing my thoughts and my feelings. And of course, I will never arrive to the point where I'm exactly communicating myself right now. Not never, like never, but at this point, I do not communicate myself as I communicate myself in English or in Arabic, right? But I have a lot of confidence right now. I mean, I coach, I do my therapy sometimes in Spanish, I coach sometimes in Spanish. Actually, my first contact to get contact with the language professionally, that I must do it when I was doing the PhD, they told me, all right, no more English here. So I was sitting on the desk with Google Translation, and I would be like translating every word. I was listening.
That's intense.
Intense. And I had to do all the first 2 years in completely Spanish. And there was an amazing girl who sat next to me, and she was my buddy all the time, helping me. So
good. So
yeah,
you had support at least. No?
I did. I have to say, I always found support here.
Because you're really, how you think, you always can find support because you're really open-minded, as you say, and really like easygoing person, and not actually easygoing, more, let's say, friendly and empathic, or because people here are like this? What do you think?
I think it's both. I think it's both. Because I must say that if you have the mindset that you want to be exploring and you're open, you have an open mindset and open to receive, you will receive. The people will really walk into your life. I remember at one point in my years, I used to look at my contacts and think, wow, how many people did I meet this year? I would meet people almost every day. Really.
Great. Where did you meet them? Exactly, that's the question.
So
tell us the places.
Look, like, exactly. That's why when I said it's really about also your mindset and if you're open to it, you will be open to meet the person standing just next to you on the road. The good thing about Barcelona is that they're so good in small talk.
Yeah.
They would say, oh, hi, oh, the weather. They love talking and speaking, and it sounds like an important conversation,
Exactly.
but it is...
Nobody will remember this conversation, but the moment were good. No?
Exactly. Or they would say, you would say, oh, actually, I met a really sweet person, or very open and friendly. And that's the great thing about here. So people are very friendly and open. I have really good friends that I made on the beach. They came and saw something that I was wearing, and they started the conversation. And I think I would do the same. I'm quite open. On the other hand, I have some friends who are not so open to that, and they were like, nobody would approach me. But I never made friends like this.
Exactly.
So I really
it's all about energy too, no? You attract what you are kind of open to receive, let's say.
Yeah, exactly. And I had some moments in my life, especially after many, many years, I am not as like so open to meet everybody all the time. I had my closed moments, and I was like, where are the people? Where are the people that... So I started to be more picky and choosing. And that was because my stages here had changed and evolved along the years, of course. So I came as a student, I lived the student life, and I started moving again to the work life.
Exactly.
After I finished the Spanish school.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that was my question. Where did you make like the switch, let's say, from the study mode, to work mode? Because I know that some people, they're kind of really stressed that they will be like forever student, or they will never find a job, or I did that, but here I study totally another thing, how I can adapt and how I can do what I can do, but in another language. How you feel about that?
Right. That was a journey, Alina, as well, for me, definitely. So I came as an educator, and then I moved into the business because I wanted to see how can I be into the business. And also, I wanted a little bit to move away from the education. When I came, I was like, I want something new. I want to start a new life. I actually wanted to start a complete new life, new fresh. I want new information, a broader perspective. I wanted to open up more. So I did not move into the work life until I finished my master's. Yes, I had like some internship. I had some colleagues or like classmates who had already started or during, but I didn't. My journey was very moving towards the educational steps. And then after the master's, I decided that I will work. Okay, so I thought, so what am I going to do? Let me check my skills first.
Exactly.
Because, of course, I came and I found the competition very high.
Okay.
Everybody has a master's.
That's true, by the way. You know, a lot of people say that Spanish people, they're not studying, nobody study here. But actually, everybody here has education. Let's not say only about Spanish. Like, people of different nationalities that are living here, all they are really high educated.
Exactly. Like, masters
at least
is normal. Right? And I think when I first came and I noticed that, I was like, wow, everybody here has a master's. even the bartender could have a master. Really.
Yeah,
So this happened because of during the crisis before the 2013. People started studying and then working. So then a lot of people started doing masters, and until today, people like keep on educating themselves and doing higher degrees. So going back to the topic, that the competition was very high in terms of the education, and of course I was comparing myself, thinking, okay, where do I stand in the market? Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And it was a huge market, because it wasn't a market of only where I came from, and then I am on the top of the scale. Oh no. Like now it was a market with so many backgrounds, so many skills, so many languages, so many life experiences.
Yes.
So all of that counts.
That's true.
So I started to do an inventory of what do I have.
Okay, I like this.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, inventory of what you have. And actually, I think it's really good even in the beginning and pre-journey preparation, no?
Right, totally. I made an inventory basically of what skills do I have, and I also checked like what are the friends around me also having. So where do I can I kind of it's basically like positioning. No, I started to see how can I position myself, and honestly, every time I wanted to go to a new experience, which I don't know why, but don't know. I know. Actually, I wanted to go a little bit into a shift, as I said, from education. So, let me go try in fashion. Let me try something in something related to artistic and fashion. I thought that maybe that would be my new path. But actually, the competition was very high. I couldn't fit in.
Okay.
At the beginning. Yet, I also had still a student visa. This was a very big obstacle.
Okay.
And it was, I mean, I haven't been an expat during my career life in Saudi Arabia, so I didn't know how it feels to be an expat.
Exactly. So
And that
it's
was
not
one of
only
the
about your
challenges.
skills then, it's about documents too.
Documents, skills, also the psychology of the competition, right? The challenge of, wow, there's a lot of competition.
Yeah.
Wow, I used to stand out so much. Now I need to work a lot on myself to stand out again.
Exactly.
Whether for my education, whether showing my skills, whether also facing the stereotypes.
Exactly.
Right? So there are, I mean, we cannot neglect that there are stereotypes about different cultures and people.
Totally, yeah.
So as much as it's very diverse, you're from that country, then you're
Boom,
like that.
they're labeling.
Totally. So I had that challenge as well. And I was like, I'm not that. But why are people so like dumping on me these labels so fast?
It's like, you just appear and they already put sticker here.
Totally. Totally.
Sometimes it's like too fast. I even didn't say my name. No.
Exactly.
It's not what you see.
Exactly.
Let's just speak about it.
Exactly.
About me.
Exactly.
So you made the list about yourself, how you will position yourself, and as you had student visa, you still have some kind of limitation, no? So what was your next step? Like you were thinking about job, or you were thinking to be self-employed, or how you was thinking about to change your visa? Let's talk a little bit about like the next period of time.
Yeah. Well, as you know, Alina, since you're in the relocation industry, I'm sure you have a lot of people asking you, I want this and I want that, and can I do this? And it's true. This was one of the challenges that I didn't know how difficult it's going to be. And it was really difficult. Again, I will go back to what passport am I holding?
Exactly.
What are the opportunities that I have? How every country has a different, have a different, what's it called, agreement with Europe. So in my case, I had one of the least beneficial agreements. So I needed to go through a very long process. I had to stay for at least 5 years before I could change my visa to a work visa. Otherwise, I would have to go through I was told that maybe you can go without, people will come along and tell you these ideas.
Exactly. Sometimes
strange ideas that I don't think it's a good idea at all to tell you, you stay illegal for a year or things like that. But no, for me, security was number one. I always wanted to be on my papers, on my documents. I was young, but I didn't want to take that risk.
Exactly, totally.
Whatsoever. So it was really difficult. I want to say that the laws changed so much from when I came until today.
Yeah, totally.
So
It's beginning to be actually really easier.
Exactly.
Because people now saying, today in Spain it's so hard to move. I say, guys, you don't know how it was 10 years ago.
Alina, same, remember. So yeah, it was really complicated. So the laws changed, and with time it started to improve. So what did I do? I made this positioning, and I decided, okay, so I'm not going to be having my work visa soon, but I can still work as a student. So I'm allowed to work 20 hours.
Yeah, before it was 20 hours.
And also the restrictions that I face is that I cannot just decide to work anywhere.
Yeah.
No, I have to work in my industry that
Exactly.
I have with my certificate. So that was also another limitation. And so I said, okay, I will just go back to teaching.
Exactly.
I literally said that. I need to understand how's the work market moving here. It's the fastest one that I could get to enter. I applied online to a couple of places, and I got 3 interviews.
Okay.
And I immediately got the job.
Okay. So it's interesting to say, because a lot of people, they say, oh, there are no jobs, the job market is saturated. But I always say it all depends who you are, what your profession is, what you can put to the table. You know?
Right. I was a school owner before coming here.
Exactly.
And I went back to the teaching, going back in the classroom. But as I said, the competition was very high. So I needed to also reduce. We need to push the ego down sometimes.
Exactly.
You know?
I like it. Yeah, that's true.
I optimized for the best, and I want to be the best, and I wanted to be. I cannot jump into a school director again.
Exactly.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
And anyway, I didn't want it back then, really. I really wanted the work experience here. I had no experience working in Europe.
Exactly.
And it was such a beautiful journey because I met students and families from all around the world. I remember in the interview, the owner of the school told me, "So Waad, like with all your experience and qualification, are you going to be okay going back to the classroom?" And I said, "Honestly, I think yes. I never taught so much international students.
Exactly.
I don't know anything about the work market. I don't know even how to do the papers for my work."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And back then, I came across a lot of lawyers who messed up with my papers, whether it was renewing my student visa.
Ooh.
I had to one point go back and start my visa again.
Ooh, I didn't know it. Wow.
Yes. I had to. When I was doing my second master's, they missed in my document something. They didn't. It was so hard.
Wow.
Really, like it was really hard and hell, I must say. And I would love that I would have known someone really professional. I didn't know. I didn't know anybody who was so good. We had a couple of recommended lawyers from the university and so on, but they messed up my papers basically. I had to go back to Saudi and start all the process all over again. It was painful.
It was painful, of
really.
Course.
So
that's really go back. To go to teach people, it's not go back, you know?
Exactly.
It all actually depends what you compare with what, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry I moved away. So I said to her, I said to the owner, yes, of course. I want to experience working in Spain. I don't have any experience working in Europe. And I want to have this experience to teach international students. I had students from all around the world.
And it's another experience, no?
Totally.
Because, you know, sometimes people say, oh, if I will do something that I was already doing like in the past, it's kind of moving backwards. I say, no, it's always actually because you will do in another form with another people, in another environment. It's totally different. It's actually moving forward, but just on another, you know, turn and leap. And it's amazing because it's new, no?
It was a complete new experience for me. And it was amazing. I loved it.
Okay.
It was amazing, challenging, of course.
Exactly. You know, like a couple of days ago, I read the phrase I really like any entrepreneur on any level, even if he is billionaire, it's never you are big too much to talk to the clients.
Totally.
You know, and I like this phrase so much because some people think that, okay, now I'm on the stage of CEO or founder or whatever, and now not small job for me, but any job is so small to actually understand what is going on in your company. So actually, I think if you want to build something here, it's really good to understand business from the work side, from the job side, not only just go from business to business.
Again, it's also a cultural concept that we hold. Some people think that if you're an owner and a founder, you wouldn't really get in contact with the client firsthand because that's in your culture.
Exactly.
I was doing a master in Oxford just recently, a master course, and I got to know a lot of people who were business owners, and I was even me, that I myself hold this concept that it's okay, but I was like amazed that the founders of the companies are serving us directly.
Yeah.
And it was such a beautiful experience that the founders themselves were there even after all the experience, all their work, they're there by themselves serving firsthand in the front line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's actually how it's have to be. So you went to the front line.
Yeah.
No? So how it was? How long did you teach in school?
So I was not in a traditional school because I am not with the traditional schooling, as I came already from that background when I had my...
Optigo, but not so much.
Sorry?
Optigo, but not so much,
Yes.
you know?
So, exactly. So I was in an alternative learning after school curriculum activities, all focused on the language and other skills. And I stayed there for 2 years and a half. Yeah.
And then another journey began.
And then another journey began, totally. So as I was doing my PhD, I started, so I did the school, the Spanish school, I took the job, and I started my PhD. So I was still a student. I could not change into a work visa because I'm registered as a student, right? So my area was still the same. And then I said, you know what? I would really like to work for myself.
Exactly.
And I will try to find another way to do that. And I found a partner I had already lived for a while, learned the language, learned the culture, mastered so many things, fell in love with the city, and I tried to find another way.
Okay.
You know, the journey wasn't really linear. It was up and down, exploring, and trying to find ways to grow. So I did work a little bit in the tourism industry with a friend. So we were planning some very tailor-made tours for Arabic people coming from Saudi Arabia, the Gulf. And we thought, oh, let's start a business there.
Okay.
And so we went through the process of the papers and so on, but it still wasn't going to give me what I wanted, is the actual work visa. And it needed a lot of investments. And then back then, as I told you, because I have a profile of education, they're like, okay, you have a profile of education, you're moving here you want to make your papers based on the tourism. They're like, don't shift too much, come a little bit with
the same line.
Kind of the same line. Well, at least that was how it is back then. I don't know how it is right now, right? But I thought, okay, how can I be stronger in the market? Still, I want to be strong. Again, my partner friend and I, he was a friend of mine. He ended up moving back. He couldn't continue here because some people just cannot.
Exactly.
Some people just cannot, and he just moved for any reason that he had. And so I thought that, this business is going to take a lot of work from me, and I was still doing the PhD, and I thought, no, let me just stick to what I'm really good at right now. Exactly. I had built a lot of experience, and then I started to find clients here and there. And based on the Spanish system, I don't need to really declare if I'm starting a demo of having one client, let's see how it goes. And I started there. And so I started posting in social media about being available for homeschooling. And that's how I shifted to become autonomous.
Okay, so autonomous chapter.
Autonomous chapter.
So what was the challenges to get to be self-employed, registered, paying taxes, go through this like lonely business journey?
Yeah, I actually needed a lawyer. to show me the way. The information wasn't easy to find. Everything was still written in Catalan. Maybe I wasn't even able. I actually was very lost when I would open the local web pages of the municipality, which is el ayuntamiento, and I was like, oh my gosh, where am I going to start? There's so much information, so totally overwhelmed. It's not even like written nicely and like bold, and my information is all over. So I found a really, really, really good lawyer who helped me with the documents, with registering myself, with writing this business kind of plan proposal of what am I going to be doing and so on. And as I already understood, going back to the basic of what in the education space, I already knew what the market needs and how can I move forward from there, right?
You were already prepared.
Yes. And I have to say that this was the journey, and it wasn't really easy at the beginning, as I was saying, but then I needed a lawyer. I needed somebody to advise me. I couldn't really do it alone. There were so much risks of whether I put my document and then maybe I lose it, and when I say lose it, I mean lose the chance, right?
Exactly.
Or I don't put the right papers, or it wasn't enough.
I like how you say like lose the chance, because the chances to lose chances are so high when you are expat. And actually, I think a lot of people, they are kind of play too much with that, you know, they're so relaxed sometimes, like how they are going to drink beer with the same mood, they are going to apply the documents sometimes. And I'm like, hey.
No. And do you remember when I told you I lost my visa once in the third year?
Yeah.
That was a very big ouch for me. I'm like, no. And it was also like terrifying a little bit, because going back and taking all over the process. I say terrifying because it's a lot of work. It's a break in the process, time, energy. Being an expat is not easy. Well, if you're a European, it's completely different.
Exactly,
but if you're coming from a country that is not from Europe, we have a lot of paperwork to do. And in my case, it's the same. So it's always good to have a really good advisor, a really good person to take care of you. And that is what I needed.
It's like the main advice, no? Like
really?
if you will give like one dream key to person that are now thinking about moving and maybe to be self-employed here, it's like really important, no? Papers
really important.
And
find
lawyers.
someone who would really take care of you. It will cut out all the mistakes, all the challenges,
and all the risks.
Mental health, and all the risks. It's so stressful because it's not easy it's not easy with so much the language, even if you know. There are still some things that we wouldn't know unless we have someone who already knows how everything is working.
Exactly.
Right?
But you register everything, you made the papers, so what do you think about taxes? Taxes challenge, because you know everybody know that in Europe, in Spain too, the taxes are really high. I don't know, by the way, what the tax in Saudi, for example.
That's what I wanted to. That's why I've been
because
smiling.
you know I never asked you that before. So for example, I don't know, like tax for salary or tax for products.
All right, breaking news. Actually, in my times, we never paid taxes. Well, but it was a challenge for me.
Wow.
Because I was like, taxes? What?
Wow, that's interesting. Exactly. Wow, imagine. So it's not only the taxes, it's taxes? Wow,
exactly. Okay, we have some tax over there in the past related to helping in the community. So it's like a donation tax that is each individual is obligated to put that tax, but it's very small.
What amount is this?
I think it was 2%.
Okay.
Something really tiny, right?
Okay.
We can cut now when I put
it. Yeah.
So it was really tiny. Anyhow, it wasn't employment tax. So this was a challenge for me. I had no idea about taxes. And it was a challenge, and I'm like, okay, now what?
I remember, like Rachel, you know, she went to first job when they cut the half of her salary, and she was like, "Who's FICA?" why she has all my money? I think it was this moment for
exactly.
you.
It was like, what? What? Why is more of my money going away? Really?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this doesn't work now how it used to work back at home. Not everything I earn is for me. It's a different culture, different system, different country, different laws completely. Now taxes are applied in Saudi Arabia, and since I am not working there, I don't have an idea yet.
But how you felt about it? Because I like that, as you said, that you're open-minded, and now you say that there's different law, different system, so you're kind of accepting it. But how did you manage, like, okay, what was your perspective on that? Like, oh, I need to get more money, or I need to pay less taxes, or what should I do? What was your thought as a self-employed here?
Good question, Alina. Good question. I have to say that I'm still today, I'm still learning. Advisory, still need advice.
Yeah.
Of course, the best thing is to try to manage whatever income that you need so you can live the life that you want and the standards that you want. And of course, depending on the sector, in my luck, I'm really grateful that in education is not taxed.
Yeah.
So I'm
not
in
as high as in other sectors.
And so I'm in the education, mental health, consultancy area, but it's in the education sector, so it's not taxed twice. So my tax is 21% only on my income tax, not on my service. So I kind of also, it's also better for my client as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, I accept the situation.
Exactly, yeah.
I accept the situation.
Why to fight the flow, no?
Yeah, exactly. I accept the situation and try to grow around it, right? Another challenge. Expat life, welcome.
So we actually touched a little bit the question about the quality of life. So how much you think an expat need as self-employed or maybe as a worker to feel like, okay, my quality of life is good. I can call it dream life in Barcelona.
Amazing. I have to say that for me, Waad personally, right now, 6,000 euro is on point.
Okay.
Where I can enjoy, I can still save, I can travel. Like I'm talking minimum.
Okay.
Minimum that I would be, okay, I'm good.
Okay.
I secure everything and everything. That's for me, it's on point. 6,000 a month.
Yeah.
Monthly.
Okay, so it's kind of 75 per year. Okay, and how you think, let's take like minimum, for example, someone telling you, okay, 6 I don't have, I will give you 2, or I don't know, I will give you 3. For how small amount of money you will say that I will at least be okay in Barcelona?
4,000?
Okay. Yeah, I actually totally agree with you because, I think a lot of people, as they see that Spain is kind of cheap country, a lot of people, they kind of mistaken that it's okay to live in Spain kind of with 1, 2, 3. But actually it's kind of okay, but depends of who you need to take care of, what is your kind of expenses, what is your taxes, no? Because it all depends how much is left in your hands.
Totally.
Because sometimes people are taking all amount of money and they forget that country will eat the big piece from that cake.
Exactly. And I want to say that savings is very important. You have to get to a point that you earn, but you can save.
Exactly.
And I didn't do that at the beginning, not even as a student. That was a mistake. We always think, because here in Spain especially, they have, this attitude of, let's live for today. Let's enjoy life. And you kind of like, I will spend. Let's go. There's so many events, so many happening.
Exactly.
I'm going to spend here, spend here, spend here. Also, I'm going to spend here and here and here. And,
Yeah,
you're like,
that's true.
okay, next month will come. The life here is with that mindset of let's just be in the today. But actually, savings are very important.
Exactly.
For any situation that could happen as an expat. It's
Exactly.
very, very important.
And you said about any situation. What do you think about medicine, about healthcare system? Did you had like some, I don't know, visiting the doctors, and what is it's money consuming too or not, or you just have insurance and that's covering everything? How you feel about that field?
I have had, well, so at the beginning, the country obliges you to do a health insurance, to get a health insurance. So I had a health insurance when I first came, and I come from also a medical background, so I wanted to have all my medical, as my father was a doctor. I was like, I want all the medical system under me.
Okay.
Right? So
I want
need
control
the insurance,
this.
I want
Under control.
I want access to everything. I want the golden insurance. But with time, and especially after COVID, like the line between before COVID and now, I dropped my health insurance because I realized, well, I dropped my private health insurance. I realized that as autonomous, I get health insurance now. Before, people didn't have health insurance. They had less benefits as autonomous, but now as an autonomous, I have benefits as I get a sick leave and I'm being paid. I have a health center that I can go to and they will treat me. So that I have covered. And I had a surgery. So I had a health condition and I had a small surgery, and I wasn't very happy with the whole business side of the medical system. And this is completely, I want to say, is a personal opinion, because I lived and grew up with a doctor, so I had the best treatment, the best, the ethical side of it. It's like, for me, it was not business at all.
Okay.
So this was a little bit hard for me. Also, where I came from as an expat, again, the treatment in the hospital is different, and so on. So actually, I became very happy with the public health system.
Okay.
I had the most amazing treatment in hospital clinic, especially.
Okay. Hospital
amazing hospital. I had some consequences of the surgery. Then the second one, I went finally there, and they treated me completely.
Perfect.
And until today, I don't have health insurance. Yes, with my dentistry, I do it private, and well, let's see.
Good.
Let's see. I have some thoughts if I want to go back to health insurance, just to go looking to more dermatology and so on. It's a little bit more aesthetic, I would say.
Exactly, yeah.
Kind of in there.
But I heard that they even cover aesthetic a little bit, no? By the insurance, or it's not true?
Exactly,
some stuff I heard about it.
Some things, yeah.
Okay, so, wow, it was a journey, okay? So I hear that a lot of happened to you during like 11 years. And let's speak a little bit about your reality today. Okay, so going through all of that and study and professional growth and job market, and after this you study with your own business, no? Small, but still your own business. How you felt now, today, what you're doing, what is good, what do you want to improve? Tell us about what that went through this journey.
Well, I have to say that I said, I made it!
Yes, exactly.
I made it!
Yes.
There are so many moments. There were breakthroughs. I'm like, oh, I did this part perfect. Now the next one. But I have to say that I did arrive from where I started until today. I'm a complete another person. I arrived in a new position in the market. I actually was determined. As if you remember, I said that it was very competitive. So I said I was determined to get to the top.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I arrived, and it's a breakthrough. And I was like, fantastic. Now I have demand on me. So I created demand on me.
Perfect.
Because, I mean, it took years, it took a lot of struggles, but I did. So I arrived to having these high competitive profile, highly qualified profile, experience, the language, the knowing of the city, the integration, also knowing more people. Networking is one of the biggest keys. Yes, I met a lot of people, right? And it's interesting because in every stage I needed different type of people in my life.
Of course, that's true.
So as a student, I was like, wow, I want to meet everybody here, all the expats, all the people, whoever I can speak to.
Exactly.
I don't know, what is your journey? And as a therapist and a consultant and a psychologist, I was like so curious to know, what was your journey like?
Different perspectives, no? Different paths.
Different paths, different psychology, different minds. And I was so curious about each person I have met and crossed. Yeah.
And now mainly you're focused on working with the parents.
So at this very moment, I evolved so much. So my area is especially focused on empowering people and individuals. So this is the main focus.
Okay.
And that's why I came up with the name of my consultation company, a service, is G, I Can Relate.
Exactly.
Because, wow, I can relate to you.
Exactly,
that's,
exactly. Because you
inspiring.
were there and you were actually in different states and in different levels, so you can understand from so actually huge, perspective.
Totally.
And from this professional background too. But
Professional, moving, even my mental health and my perception to things changed. My experiences, the losses, the gains, the pains, the changes, the people coming, the people going, and adapting and growing. Because I spent 11 years, as you said, it's been a decade, Waad.
Exactly.
Exactly. I've changed as a person. I grew up, and so all of this has been an experience that I can relate to.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So now we have you here, and there in the past we have what 11 years ago. What you would write to her like one note? She's still packing, and she's still nervous, and she's still kind of not sure. I need to go, or if it will work, or if not, should I or not? One note that you will write to her.
Wow. Can I write a small paragraph?
Of course, of course.
Not a sentence?
Yeah.
Because I don't think that one sentence would be fair for a human experience.
Okay.
But I would say, while it's exciting, it's going to be a journey, it's fun. There's a lot of things that are going to come through your path that you would not expect. And sometimes it's going to be very difficult. Sometimes it's going to be very lonely. But you got this. You really got this. And you have it in your soul to go through the challenges. And you always have to be with yourself and with the people around you. Always reach out. It's so important to have the people around you, the community, your friends. Build strong bonds. Don't be afraid, even if this country is part of, or let's say the journey of an expat is moving and letting people behind as you're moving. Actually, it's not that, and that I'm really grateful that I had that. So I would like to tell her that it's gonna be hard, but keep going. I never gave up, so don't give up. And I'm really proud of you that you didn't give up. The most important thing is to remember that always stay with yourself, be with yourself, be true to yourself. And I really want to say this, that I'm coming from the mental health background, and I want to say that I moved here after my father had passed away, and so I needed to find mental health service for myself. And until today, I think it's very important that you always find support as a community, really strong bonds and friends, and serve your mental health with an expert and a specialist, because it was one of the most important elements and pillars in my growth and progressing. Consultancy, finding professionals, finding like-minded people, finding support, and be around the people who reflect you, mirror you, and where are you going and what do you want to achieve. Because if you're just mixed around with diverse people not going where you want to go, it's just not going to be. This is something that I didn't know before, that I need to stick to the not stick around, but keep on finding the people who are going towards
aligned with your path.
Yes, with your path. And some people come and go, but you need to keep going. And it's so important to remember the people who were with you from the beginning, because they remind you of your old self.
Because I even have now like analogy in my head, I don't know, it just appeared, that some people, they're kind of trees, like the apple is coming, and after this it's go away and apple is coming again, so they're kind of always growing and always feeding, but some people, I don't know, they're kind of juice, you just drink it and it's finished. you know. So some people, they just give like this feeling, or they take this feeling from you, and they actually don't give nothing back, or they just like consumers, you know. So as you are so like deep giver, you know, I think it's really important to be surrounded by givers and kind of to give to each other and to like share the apples, let's say, you know.
Exactly, and hold space for you, and nourish yourself, and learn. It's a journey. It is not it's not just one goal and a destination. It's a journey.
It's a journey. It's a journey. So what? Tell us a little bit how you can help to expats or to local people on their journey. I know that you have this amazing service, so tell us a little bit more about it.
So my services go around empowering expats during their experience, whether they're facing mental health issues regarding the move, or also separating from their background, as in family, also empowering them with building new relationships, or difficulty where what they're facing, the fears that come around. I also focus a lot with parents, because my specialty also in education is developmental and educational. So I help parents overcome challenges that are facing with children, especially first-time parents, young parents, and I am trying to support these families to thrive even in another country.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because let alone the whole experience, there is the family experience challenges, and I've learned from my experience is that family is very important.
Yeah.
And I would like to make that impact, because I'm sure that everyone here listening has a story with their family.
Exactly.
Whether they're with them or they're not, or they're starting their own family, it really shakes our life.
Yeah.
It really is a foundation of humanity to be with your family, not to be a loner or separate, or also create that family that you wish for, that you want, and give to your family that idea of let's be a happy family. Isn't that the desire of every
everybody
person?
needs dream family,
and
no?
I want a dream family, and I want a happy family, and so you really need to work on yourself and give that to your family so that they can thrive. And remember, last few days you made a post that I really loved. Stick to your dream, because a lot of people depend on your dream. And as for families, the family really also reflects that.
Of course.
The dream family that you want is also something that all your family wants.
Exactly.
So that's what I do, and I want to say that it also challenges people's mental health when your family is not so stable.
Of course.
And you don't have that bond and support, and the challenges that you face with raising a child or another, or having a supportive parent or not, or the parent left, homesickness, all of it, all the challenges that comes with the normal experiences. You get others with an expat. It's different. And so I support the children, their education. I support the parents with their experience. And I am now also moving to work with corporates to help individuals who are professionals. So I get them to stabilize that side of them so they can excel and perform better in their work environment. And also expats who are moving into new countries, and they're working in a new environment that is diverse or different. They also go through this dynamic of
adaptation period. Like this onboarding period, it can be totally different if they have professional help.
Totally.
It's just like nobody speak about it, you know, because I don't know why. Like when we go into when the heart is hurting, we are going to the doctor. No, when the TV is broken, we are going to, to some professional of that. No, but when it's relocation or move, people like, I will do it everything by yourself. No, you can. But with specialists, it will be like so easier and so like smoother, no? And I think like mental health, it's what nobody talk, no? Job is important, taxes is important, school is important, no, but how you feel about that?
And there's a lot of ideas about, I can't show that I'm struggling because I don't want the company to judge me or think that I'm not good enough.
Exactly.
And there are lots of companies that support mental health and adaptation, and they provide their service to their employees. But you know what we said today earlier, Alina, nobody's talking about the real thing.
Exactly.
The difficult thing. Why
Yeah.
is it not raw? That this is hard and this is difficult and
Yeah, exactly.
this is not easy.
And we need help and we need
Yeah.
support. And that's why we have so great professionals. And I'm really proud that you choose this city, Barcelona, and I'm here and you're here and we can talk now. And I can really share like not only journey of Waad, but her amazing skills. And I will put all her contact here down. And please check her website and please take at least one consultation and you will see that your life can be like really before and after. Like really, I just know. Thank you, Waad, so much
Thank
that
you,
you came
Alina.
and that you share your journey, share your experience. Thank you so much. And guys, please subscribe to my channel. Please visit the webpage of Waad. And let's be in touch for our next videos about expat life in Barcelona. See you. Bye-bye.